Hi, and welcome to the continuing conversations on natural birth. My name is Mia White, and I'm the author of the book Beautifully Born that you can see here, Empowering Women for Natural Birth. And that's my passion, to empower you to know that you are made, you are designed and created to birth beautifully and naturally, but we need sometimes direction and education to know this in this kind of world where birth has become something very and unnatural in some ways, and we don't embrace it as we used to in times past. This is Vienna, and here she is due to be born anytime basically. And in this video, we're talking about how to prepare our environment for going into labor and birth. And I'm sure that as women, we know about ourselves that our environment affects our well-being and how we feel in a space. And so we will talk about things like the kind of sounds, the scents, the visuals, and the sensations that can help our bodies birth well and help us as women to relax and feel safe. Feeling safe during birth is key. And unfortunately, even though this is not videos about home birth only, it's videos about natural birth, because we can use natural birth skills even in the hospitals. It is known as a fact when we look at women that when they leave their safe home environment during labor to transition to the hospital, many times what happens is that the body pulls the brake and goes "Ee!" and everything slows down and stops for many women because we enter an unfamiliar environment. So it's important to know even what we can do and put in our hospital bag that will help us keep feeling safe if we are going to transition to a hospital. Of course, staying in your home environment never disrupts that flow and the safety. So first of all, let's talk about the nesting syndrome. It's a really interesting thing that happens to us as we get close to giving birth. We have many times this burst of energy or this focus of preparing our nest, just like an animal would do that senses that the time for birth is getting close. Similar things happen to us. We may find ourselves up at night thinking more about birth, and during the day wanting to prepare our space. We find women starting to feverishly clean everything in their home, and the husbands are going like, what happened? Like, where's this energy coming from all of a sudden? We want things to be prepared. We want things to be neat. We make sure that we have everything ready for the baby, and these things are important. If you're working with a midwife for a home birth, all of your supplies and everything that you need is set in order already around week 36. Like you need to be ready so that it's not stressful. Like you can relax and know that you are ready for the event. But just things even that we can take with us to the hospital or into our environment deal with things that are very uniquely individual to us as women. We are each different, and we feel safe or we feel good around different things. So when it comes to sounds, I would encourage you to prepare your playlist of music, if music is what helps you relax. I have found that escaping into my own world with headphones is very helpful and very it creates your own space. You don't have to hear what goes on around you, even if you were in a hospital. And for me personally, I use music with words during the first part of the labor many times. But when it comes to the more intense part of labor, if I still want music, I use only instrumental. You can also use just sounds of nature. If water, trickling water, soothes you, or the sound of wind or the sound of waves, like let it play in your ears as you relax and practice your breathing and everything. Even if you have pre-labor and you get used to the sensations of contractions and stuff as you lie awake at night, it may be helpful for you to listen to music and just practice the response that you want to have as you actually go into intense labor. Practice it early on. Then when it comes to scents, I love this whole world of aromatherapy, because really they say that scents choose us. So every woman's response to a different scent is unique, and some women may be really attracted to an uplifting scent of citrus, for example, whereas somebody else prefers something else. So during the first parts of labor, I love to diffuse scents of the uplifting and energizing things like citrus, like orange, or like bergamot, I think it's called, and different things like that. But what you can do is you go to a store and you actually smell them. What makes me feel energized and invigorated? And during other parts of labor, I switch to something that helps me to relax, because as birth gets more intense, I need the peace to maintain with me. And so lavender is my go-to. And even during the pushing phases, I have this little pouch of dried lavender, and in between, like as I am breathing, during pushing the baby out, I deeply inhale the scent of lavender, and it helps me to relax. You can take baths with essential oils during labor, diffuse it or put the oils on you, and even inhale it, dried like I did or whatever. So scents are important, and you can even take like pouches like that, or even oils like that with you to the hospital and inhale it, breathe it from your hands or whatever. You may not be able to diffuse it in a hospital room, but you still can try to make your environment conducive to what makes you feel good. Obviously, in the hospital, when it comes to visuals, the environment many times isn't very pretty, but you could ask to lower the lights in your room. You could ask to, or you could bring little flickering electric candles if you want to. Just bring your favorite blanket. When it comes to sensations, things that we like to feel, like our favorite robe at home, things, make sure that we wear very comfortable clothes. And for me, I fill the room with candles, things like that. And then of course, we're going to talk in the next video about birthing companions, like who you allow into that very, very sacred space of birthing. But we'll talk about that in the next video. So think about how you want to prepare your birthing environment, because it's important. It affects everything about birth, and how you feel will affect how the baby feels. You are absolutely I can't even find the word, but you are so connected to your baby that whatever you feel and experience, the baby feels and experiences. So together you will have a beautiful birthing experience, partially by preparing your environment. So thank you for listening, and come back to the next video where we talk about our companions during birth. All right, bye.